How do we get this awareness to every other African woman out there?
We have to validate our daughter's dreams. We have to validate the female dreams. If your daughter has a certain dream, stop telling her that it's only a male-dominated field. If she wants to become an engineer, stop telling her it's only men who can do that. Even a woman can do it.
And this propaganda is still going on, making women believe that behind a successful man, it's a woman.
African woman is already empowered.
Why are we fighting for empowerment right now?
Welcome back to Youth Unmoderated Dialogues. I'm Shani Williams. I'm pursuing laws.
Welcome back. My name is Josa Sekelia, and I'm thrilled to be here once again.
Hello, my name is Beth Akoth. I'm a counselor by profession. I also run a mental health organization. This is my second time here, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Derek, and I study here, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Salha. This is my first time being here, and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Izotong Beatrice. Glad to be here as usual.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashola Kui. I'm a student here doing law. Thanks for it's the first time to be here for.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Chris and I'm so thrilled to be here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Virgwan Onsikeisa, and I'm a student of business.
Thank you all for that introduction. This brings us to the final start of our today's discussion. For our today's topic, it's how can African women achieve true empowerment? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our discussion for today, and it's unmoderated. So let's hear your own opinion and views towards this topic.
Thank you very much. As she has said, we're all looking up to how can an African woman achieve true empowerment, right?
Sure.
So for me, I don't want to be stubborn, but I always love to be on the other side. But if I was to talk about the topic, the first thing I would have said is that I wouldn't even know who an African woman is, who an African woman, American woman, or Asian, right? So I would like to conceptualize it like it's all woman after all, right? Yeah. A strong being who can give life, who can give love, and so many other things, right? So if anybody wants to talk about it, I would feel like it's more of a general thing, except if you said
okay,
if it was my mother.
I have an addition to that.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's an African woman, because we are neglected, the whole world. Yeah, we women, the description is good, but at some point as African women, we are neglected. Sometimes due to our color, look down to our abilities. So at this point, we feel like we need to empower an African woman in her own ways. Yeah?
Yeah. Well, basing on that, I feel like an African woman exists anyway. We cannot run away from the truth, right? So an African woman is there. And for me, regardless of race, of color, of culture, there are so many ways an African woman can be empowered.
Okay, if I could add something, I think what distinguishes an African woman from others is their culture. I think it's more about the culture and how they were brought up, the background. I think because in Africa, it's really different from other continents. So I think culture and background is one of the key distinguishments of African women and other women from other continents. Thank you.
Well, let me hope you're also among the people who feel like Africa is the mother of every other nations, right? Right? Like on the biggest positive side, like Africa is the real deal, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
So thank you so much. I would like to add onto the theme of today how an African woman can achieve true empowerment. So I think as much as we're talking about an African woman achieve empowerment, I also think an African woman is already empowered. We have the power. It's just that the kind of society that we're living in tried to suppress in the past, but at the moment many women are awakening, and you can see even in social media here in the discussion, women are more. That means the power is awakening, and I think that is really important. So I think another way that women can be guided to realize the power that they have is encouraging them to have self-awareness and knowing who they truly are, how they can tap into their power to achieve their full potential, because it's not like they don't have the power. I think they just need guidance, an environment that believes in them, like we are now believing in them, now telling them you have to tap into the power that you have, because I believe all human beings are divine, and if you are divine, you're powerful. So I think women need to tap into the power that they have. Some of them are suppressed, but you can tap and achieve your full potential.
So how do we get this awareness to every other African woman out there? Because if there is need to give an awareness, it means there is something going on that you'd like to enlighten to every other African woman. Is that what you're saying? So what is that thing exactly that we need to give to the African women through sensitization, and how can we do it?
So I think we can do self-awareness. We can use various medias like social media, advocacy, community spaces, whereby we encourage women to attend in those areas. And I also believe that every generation of people have a responsibility for the future generation. So as women in this generation, we have seen more, we have learned, and we've seen what is important and what is not important. So I think it also starts from the grassroots when because we are the mothers, these men, the men and women, we are the ones who nurture them at home. So I think when we nurture them at a very young age, making them believe that they have power, they grow when they know they have the power. So we instill the mindset in them at a very young age so that the next generation of women would not have to talk about being empowered. They will have to talk about tapping into their power and becoming the best version of who they can be, and also instilling the value in men to respect and empower the women around them, and not to try and suppress their energy, to believe that women are more than half of the generation, and when we work together, we are creating an impactful society, not only for women, but for men as well.
Well, if you agree with me, you're literally saying what a woman can do, what a man can do, a woman can do better, right? You feel like the empowerment is there. You feel like the women can do anything. Is that the case? Because not everywhere in Africa, but there are societies, like there are some communities in Africa where an African woman has not seen technology, right? Has not seen social media, has not seen education. They're still preserved in cultural values, so they are preserved out there. They raise children like animals. They can literally have clean water or even a very decent meal, right? So how can you get the sensitization to that kind of people?
So before we try and talk about getting the sensitization to the more women, I think we should also thank the generation that was prior to us, the work that they did, so that we are here as people, we can see social media, we are empowered because they did that for us. So I think we should also start with being grateful for being here and think about ways that we can move on and make sure that every other woman in rural or marginalized areas, they are also empowered and they can see what we can see.
Yeah.
I want to add on that topic on things to do with the rural areas, and it's more of tradition, right? Back in the days, women were taught like they are not empowered; they were encouraged. It's more of a propaganda. Like when a woman is growing up, she's told to believe that, like to a man's success, a successful man, there's a woman, right? They are not empowered, but it's a propaganda. You get they're manipulated that they don't become the best version of themselves, but they give up their careers, their life, working to make a man successful. This is how the African society used to empower women. Like they are behind the bars, and in a point, like they have to make men successful. So I don't know if you guys get it, but I'm trying to say like women are not empowered straight within cultures. So like they are told to believe a certain thing that they can do, yeah, like being behind the bars. So to my okay, the question is like how do you remove those contexts that the ideology of behind a successful man is a woman, those beliefs that our old cultures were empowered in such a ways.
What I can say in there, I think the woman must have self confidence, so she can believe. I'm sorry, that she can do everything. So when you believe in yourself, you believe that everything is true, that you can do it. What I'm trying to mean is like stop unexpectations, because unexpectations come with a lot of limitations, because when you believe that you can do it, so that can make an empowerment to a woman.
And also, I can add into this, like, also we have to educate women, like, because education is foundation of the empower. Yes, so we should also put like women should be educated first.
I think I have an argument here. To be honest, like I already told you, today, if you came and spoke that women won't do some things, when women are supposed to do a certain things, you are wrong, right? I strongly believe that an African woman is capable of doing anything, regardless of culture, of wherever they are coming from. That I want to make it clear. So the only reason why an African woman has not done something they think they have not done is because they just never tried, right? So I agree with you, but I need to make sure that we put measures like what can you convince anyone out there watching? How can we get to those people we think are not exposed? They don't have the education, they're limited to geographical barriers and many other things. How can we get this sensitization to them? Because they feel they're still reserved to keep the culture, to raise the children like this, to go in farming, to go in other things. Whereas they can be great entrepreneurs, they can be great leaders, they can be great other things. So how can we reach out to that kind of African woman? Yeah.
I like the fact that you stated that our African woman is not limited to anything, right? Yeah. So basically, when I talked of how the tradition affects an African woman being empowered, I think I stated that it affects. Yeah. So in a point like when I talked earlier, like we grew up, we are not more exposed, and then where we grew up from, we are told on how to be men, be behind the men, right? So every time you're growing, you're told like, oh, be like this, or don't do that, and then like when you're growing up, you're told to look out for a man. Most of the African women, they would have been successful, but they give up their life, they give up their careers, their entire life just to be behind your man, watching out your man become who he is. He goes for wars, you're behind him. encourage him, motivate him. That's what we are believed to be doing back in our cultures. So they don't empower us. They tell us, they make us, it's like a concept. So as an African woman, you're supposed to be behind you, a strong woman. You don't work for yourself. We are limited from our own opinion. Rather, we work behind the bars, like for the men to be successful. So this is how they used to empower us back in the days. And this propaganda is still going on, making women believe that behind a successful man, it's a woman. So, women grow up with this mindset of you want to make your man successful, cutting out yourself, limiting out yourself. You don't work for yourself. You work for his success. So how do you empower people with such context affected by the culture already?
I'm thinking it all starts within the family. I'm thinking because as we grow up, there's a certain phase you get into, especially as a daughter. You do something wrong, and your mom or your dad is always like, "Who is going to marry you? What kind of behavior is that? Who will want a woman like that?" Now, that implants a seed in a young female mind, because now it always feels as if you have to always be perfect because someone else is going to pick you, and not be perfect
doing
because
a favor.
yeah, and not because you want to be like that, because they teach us cooking at an early age and cleaning because someone is going to see that in you and want to choose you a husband. But they don't even teach it as a social skill, because one day you're going to be out of your family's house, you're going to have to cook a meal for yourself and sleep. So I also think it should also start with advocacy to the parents who still have this ideology that the ladies are only good when it comes to marriage. When they say that the girl child, the only thing she's good at is to become married, raise children. We have to validate our daughter's dreams. We have to validate the female dreams. If your daughter has a certain dream, stop telling her that it's only a male dominated field. If she wants to become an engineer, stop telling her it's only men who can do that. Even a woman can do it. So it always starts with that seed of you feeling as if there's certain things that you cannot do just because you're a woman. And also that should start from our parents and the guardians. We should try to advocate or start sessions with these parents and these guardians to teach them that the female's dreams is valid. They have dreams also. And just because she's a woman does not mean that she can't achieve that certain dream. So I think for the people who are the women who are less privileged and who grew up like that. Now, on that case, I'm talking about the ones who are still in the families that tell them like that. And for us who, I can't say I'm maturely grown enough that I can't say I'm not still in an environment that limits me with those kind of ideologies. But now for us who are already seeing that we are capable, can we also try to actually be an example to those ones who are actually saying that they are limited? We try to be a life example, because it's very easy for a person for you to tell them be empowered, but it's also easier than done, because now, okay, I'm empowered now. What did you do? You told me to empower myself, but you yourself, are you empowered? That becomes the question. So you have to be self-empowered already for you to also empower another person. So we can try to be life examples to them. If you're empowered to become a leader, it can start at school, it can start in church, it can start at the family gatherings. If they say, come pray for the meal, stop telling your brother to go pray. Let you go and pray for the family meals. If they say there's a game going on, we want ladies to play basketball. If you feel like you can play it, go play it, because now you become you start from now getting out of the theory to the practicals. Now that young girl watching you somewhere who is like, my father does not think that a basketballer must always be a man. They are seeing you on the TV, and maybe she's like, I want to grow up and be like Beatrice. I want to grow up and be like Nancy, you see. So it always brings that motivation, because even when that person sees you, they say, okay, I can see also girls can do this. So even my daughter is not limited to do it. So I think we should start getting it more into practicals and not theory, because advocacy also has to come with change. That's what I think.
going back to what he said something about sensitizing in rural areas. So I was thinking of movements. So I don't know if you guys, agree with me, but I think that would be a great idea, making movements for people who were already exposed to seeing women empowered. I would love that those people who already know come together, make something like a movement, then go around in those rural areas and then show them what they achieved, what they did. I think that would be a great way to make sure that the rural people also know about the women empowerment.
Well, to answer her, I'm going to answer Beatrice because I believe like most of the things are beliefs, are traditional beliefs, are things we believe in. And actually, as a child said, like if we take ladies or women's to school, the African women's, we educate them. We believe those beliefs or the traditional beliefs will change. You get. So I basically agree with her telling Beatrice it's more of empowering women's, taking them to school. We can take with our generation. We have single mothers outside there. And right now they don't believe like you have to be a man has to empower you to be that strong woman. They're raising their kids, and that's through education. But also to give them a question, I don't know if you guys will answer me. The thing is, how do you give the self awareness to the rural people in the villages? Because you're talking of media and other people in the rural areas whereby they cannot access media. So, how do you give them that self awareness, or how do you empower them?
And like she said, to make the movements, right? So you see, that's like an action taken, right? Like make the movements and then go to the villages and take the sensitization. But like getting to her, she talked about something to do with family, right? But there is something people try to do, create their own worlds of the things they want to adapt to. For example, there is a country in Africa, right? I won't say because I love it to be there. That I feel like people are actually trying so hard. Like the African woman instead is trying so hard than they shouldn't even have, right? Like they should have just got up in the morning. If it's an entrepreneurship skill, just try it out and then see where it goes. So they're actually trying so hard when the opportunity is already there. Maybe they should just go and do it. There is no limitation. The world is free. So the only world of limitation they have created it themselves. There is something they want to believe, and we're not going to stop that. So the thing is, that country I told you in Africa, for example, some boys were talking about it. Like a woman will say, I'll never go to a man and tell them how I feel about them. Like I will never make a move. Oh my God, that's so disrespectful. A girl, a woman, make a move on a man, I'll never do such a thing. I don't think there is a parent who has told their daughter, never make a move on a man, right? If it's about a relationship, your father, your family is not involved. It's about building your own life, right? So how about when you die with your feelings and you choose the worst man or something go wrong because you couldn't make a move, stuff like that. So I think the barriers these people have created them themselves. They want to believe in some things. They're just trying hard when they should just have gotten up in the morning and do that kind of thing, and no one is going to stop them.
Okay, let me answer on immediate. I want to answer on what Shoni said. She stated of how they empower people that are still in rural areas that has media has not reached to them. And then I feel like, to my personal point and a way of observation, I feel like empowering an African woman starts from here, starts from where we are. Media contributes, but it's not the main thing. Like an example, they may be in a rural area, but maybe a woman is having a business. A young woman has a business. But when the other women also, like maybe you're doing fish, maybe she sells fish and stuff, yeah? There may be men that do sell fish and they're fishing, right? But when you want to empower a woman in a rural area, when other women start to see that whatever she's doing is beneficial for both of them, right? It's her, she's a business owner, but as the buyers and women, it's kind of beneficial to both of them. So when women start picking like a hand from another woman, like you can help, you can give a leaning hand or leaning shoulder to another woman, you're already inspiring her, right? You're giving her a purpose in life. Not only that, in villages, yeah, or maybe places, rural areas without media, there's leadership everywhere. People live with regi groups, so like ages. So when like in those age, like women are not given powers, but when we feel like maybe we are in the same age and then we're in the village, we don't have media, but then we say like we need a leader, right? And then maybe Shoni or maybe Kelly will be like, oh, let Chris be our leader because he's a man, right? Maybe we'll be like, no, it can't be Chris. Maybe Kaylee can be our leader, right? So empowering doesn't need media. Media is it's actually something that contributes to empowering, but if at all there's no media, empowering somebody starts genuine from how you feel about them, from how you see them, from how you feel like there's something in them that not everybody is seeing. Media contributes, but even if in rural areas, empowerment still works. It's just a matter of seeing something in somebody that they haven't seen in themselves and bringing it out. So I think
I would like to add on to what Beatrice said, and this is not something that will be done today or tomorrow and we get done with it. This is something that is generational. It has been there, people have done it, we are doing it, and people who will come after us will still do it. So the question will be, what is your contribution gonna be? You don't have to be on social media or be an advocate for that much, or be a community leader or a movement leader for you to advocate. It can be simple as being at home saying no to domestic abuse, so your kids grow up knowing domestic abuse is illegal. It can be simple as you standing up for a person or a group of people in your neighborhood who are not being treated right. It can be you just being in a friends group and saying standing up for a girl who can't speak for herself. It starts from the simple things we do and the simple no's that we say. It's not about only social media. It starts from the life you're living as a person and the contribution that you bring in to you and the people around you, I think, as well.
yeah. That's it.
Okay. I would like to say something about empowering women. First and foremost, empowerment, it comes with authorization, it comes with liberty, it comes with fundamental rights. And when we talk about fundamental rights, that's like having a free movement, having free of will. You are being decisive on what you need to do as a woman or as a man. So the reason why apparently we are fighting for empowerment of women, it's because women perceive themselves to be less than men. And if they believe that they have equal liberty, they have equal fundamental right as men, then we won't be at this point. And again, you need to ask yourself, why are we fighting for empowerment right now? I'll give you these metaphors. The difference between the Asian people and the current people is one. The Asian people were not too optimistic. They could not predict the future. And the current people, we are able to predict the future based on the current situation that are ongoing right now. So, and one thing that is common with the Asian people is that they were too conservative. Okay, now think it in this way: if women are empowered as men, right? What are we preserving? We need to empower women, yes, I agree with that. But we also have to be optimistic about the future. Let's say if I empower women right now, she claims not to give birth, not to get married, and we give her that right. What will happen to her later on? The birth rate will reduce. I'll give you a life scenario. In England right now, the birth rate has reduced by 50%. And how has it reduced by 50%? Is the empowerment of women. Who gives birth to us as the living right now is women. So if we push them to that extent of recognizing, oh, I don't need to do this because I'm empowered. I don't need to do this because I have authorization not to do it. That means, of course, there's not going to be a future there. So yes, we can't empower women by education. And when we empower them by education, we are making them aware of the surrounding. We're making them aware of being decisive and also be predictable about certain things. So we need to empower women, and on the other hand, too, we need to be concerned about the future.
Actually, you say that, but the point I was about to make was actually against what you're saying. I wanted to say that on a way to empower African women is to teach them that marriage is not a rite of passage. It's not something you have to go through as a human being. You know, marriage has become as if it's a list of the things you need to do as when you reach this certain age, marry. But what if I want to actually expand my business? What if I want to go abroad and try something new? What if I want to do my master's? Because once you get into marriage, now the responsibilities become huger. The priorities are now set to be different. There are bills coming, there are children coming, there's family priorities, there's taking care of the household and everything. I wanted to say that in a way to empower African women is to teach them that, yes, I'm not saying marriage is bad. Don't misquote me, please, because you're all as a result in one way or another of people's love. You know, people loved each other, they married, they gave birth to us, and we are here. But as an African woman, marriage should not be the only priority because I know some ladies, even up to now, very unfortunately, we finish studying and they're like, I want to study masters, but by then I will be 27. If I pursue my masters, if I'm finishing, I will be 30. Who's going to marry me at 30? So they choose not to pursue their masters because they want to get married. And in a way, you can't judge her because the society values that in a woman, you see, like the way you said, preserving the future. But I don't really think empowerment comes with oppression. Because if empowerment comes with you oppressing a woman just because you want to preserve the future, then you're actually doing nothing because now that becomes a rule. No, let me finish, Chris. Now, if that becomes a rule, there's no way that she's doing this out of free will. This is where you find situations whereby a woman is giving birth, but they don't nurture the kids. And as they lack that nurturing side of them, that's how we are raising a generation of traumatic people. That's how we are raising children who need constant mental health. Their mental health is unstable because you gave it as a way of oppressing women to give birth to preserve the future. But that's not something that she wanted. You can agree with me if you are forced to do something, there's a way you don't do it to the perfection of what you want to be. I'm still going on, Chris.
It's okay.
Let me
You
land.
can move on.
So, and I also wanted to also put a point whereby I'm saying education is not enough. Let me tell you, there are people who get educated and they don't know what is feminism, they don't know what is patriarchy, they don't know their rights as human beings, they don't even know the rights they have against the management that they're in. So education is not enough because education, we go to study, we start with mathematics, we go to biology, you learn your autonomy as a human being, you go to chemistry, they tell you sodium plus chloride, sodium chloride, you see. But they don't actually tell you in the society there's this and this. You have the option to do this and this. There's free will. As a woman, there's these challenges, and this is how you can mitigate them as a woman. So education, that if you say that we need to give them education, is not enough. You need to have these sessions whereby you're educating young girls on their rights, especially the ones in the rural areas who don't have this privilege, and those ones you say geographical barriers. You can now, the geographical barriers, you can use the social media. And you need to sensitize these sessions where you teach them what is feminism. You teach them what is patriarchy. You teach them the societal expectations. You teach them how to preserve their principles, but still stand their ground to do their dreams and pursue their dreams. You have to teach them on how to link culture and their parental expectations, but still not be in a situation whereby they are self-sacrificing. And also answering what you said about us being empowered, but at the barriers, you say the barriers is like we create them ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the example you gave it in, there's a way you always grow up culturally knowing what is right and wrong. No one talked to you about it, but you just know that thing, it feels off, you know. And most of the times it's not everyone has the courage to ask about it, or ask why can't I do this, I've seen my brother do it, you know. But you just now you grew up, or you grow up knowing that that is what he's supposed to do, and that is what I'm supposed to do, like the example you gave. And the example you gave, in most cases scenarios, I always say it's always a man who has to do the first step. But that doesn't mean that if that doesn't mean that just because now the lady is the one who did the first step, that does not insinuate that she's not culturally moral or anything. We I just think we perceive modernization differently in our times of the perspectives. So Chris, you can't empower and oppress at the same time. It does not work like that.
Okay.
But Chris, before I forget, I want to fire at him before I get back to you. I think we need to make one thing clear. African woman empowerment starts with the woman themselves, right? That's what I think. Like, if a woman is limited to explore, to expand, to do something, then they feel they're being oppressed. And then they will come out and say, we want to do this and this, but we are limited by religion, by culture, by this and that, right? So that's how I want Chris to bring this thing up, because empowering an African woman, I think it starts with them. It starts within, from the woman themselves. Because for me, when I was young, the first time I changed my mind about women, I'm talking about an older woman, right? I saw a woman who was making paper, paper we used to write things on, from fabric. You know what fabric? Wheat, wheat, the husks. They grow wheat, they process it, and then the residues, she process and make paper out of it. And when she was presenting, she demonstrated how you can draw, like on canvas, you can draw a nice picture, you can write, and it was so sensational, right? So in my mind, I was like, how did a woman think of something like this? Because stuff like this are done by men, right?
Let me add, then you can answer all.
You understand?
The same.
You understand? So I was like, how can a woman imagine at that age? I think I was even like 8 years old. You understand? How can a woman be able to do something like this using this kind of, that kind of innovation? So I feel like the woman who has not done that has just not tried. You understand?
Okay, yeah.
So maybe they should go out there and do these things. But if this woman came at that time and said, I wanted a license to do paper, but it was never given to me because women are not supposed to do this, then there should be a problem.
Okay, let me add, then you answer both. I think it also comes with the readiness. Are they ready to be empowered? I can preach and educate you
That's
and
the thing,
empower you to tap on into your purpose and be the best version. But if you're not ready, I don't think it will work. You can look at the story in the Bible. There was a lame man who was seeking for healing, and he told Jesus, I need healing. And then Jesus told him, are you ready? And that's how it started. It started with the man's faith and his readiness. So I think that principle also applies to our personal lives as women in rural areas, marginalized, and in every part of the world. As much as you are preaching empowerment, advocacy, education, are you ready to get these things?
Okay, to come to your profession, first of all, the only way you can let a person view the world is by telling a story. You've told us a story, and we've now known about this woman who made a paper. And clearly, when I was observing and critically thinking about the story, I came to judge that this lady was actually being innovative and creative. There was no empowerment there. She simply decided, she simply decided and worked on it. So she was prepared, like self-preparation, like the way Beth stated it. So for me, we also have to critically think of empowerment and talent. A woman who is talented, of course, she's going to shine regardless of criticism of her being a woman and so on. Kale talked about marriage. I would say that empowerment also come with revolving or revolution. It's going to be this way. In the last 5 decades, right? Women, like Africa, didn't know education, or majority of African were not aware of education. So now, if African were not aware of education back then in 50 to 70 years ago, that means that that constant change comes with empowerment. You talked about media. In the last 20 years, we didn't have media, right? And right now, I feel like media is being dominated by women, right? If you are to agree with me on this, media is being dominated by women right now. They are influencers and they are also doing marketing. So back then we did not have media, but now we do. So that consistent change is what now empower women. And men didn't. Women did not fight for it. Media just came in and they were being creative and they worked on it. So, and to add on that, I feel like empowerment also comes with responsibility. Responsibility and adventure, they work hand in hand. Let's say you're in country A, and then you move to country C. And in that country C, you will discover some things. So that means you have adventure, the world. You will see different cultures, you will see different things. And if you are not prepared, you will be prepared. So that one is already self-empowerment. You have identified what you did not know and you conceptualized it. You worked on it and you got the result out of it. And
All right. So what I can say, how can an African woman achieve a true empowerment is being independent. So when a woman is independent, if she can do her own business, being an entrepreneurship, so this can links to an power, so she can feel like she can do everything, you know.
And
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Before we go for our short break, I have an argument about what you said. You said like
A woman must be independent.
a woman must be independent. Yeah, in true stories, women try to empower themselves. Women try to give themselves empowerment. So, like, I have a scenario of a woman open a beauty brand, dealing with cosmetics and makeup products, stuff like that. So you find like this woman, according to the society, according to how the media was saying, because media will always have their own views on what you're doing, they always judge. So this woman was she empowered her own self. Yeah, like sometimes you don't need to be told, you just get out of it, and you're not given something until you have to get it right. So this woman got herself up and felt like this is what she can do. When she got in that company, or maybe her dream, which is supposed to be like validated, but you find like she was criticized in a way like, oh, you cannot be owning a beauty brand, you're not even well nice looking, what beauty product are you selling, how are they going to help, like maybe a skincare that's supposed to make your skin smooth and glow, you yourself you don't glow, like how are we buying it, you get. So you find like we sometimes women are empowered to do something, but the society, the media, right, criticize whatsoever you came up from. And whoever is going to answer me, I think we first go for a short break and then we continue from where we stop. Thank you.
You're taking some pictures and you're gonna be saying before and after.
In Rwanda, Kazakhstan relations.
Welcome back to the second session of Youth and Moderated Dialogues. And our topic for today was how can African women achieve true empowerment? So, ladies and gentlemen, you ready? Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, guys. We're still going on, and I had the question, so I'll be expecting answers, and not just answers, opinions, views. Yeah.
Well, I think from what you said, your question was very clear. But I think this woman did something like she out thought of what the public's opinions are, right? Because if I was to do a business, everyone who comes will not buy my product. That's the first thing the woman should have kept in her mind. There's so many things which happen in the background of a business that would want to take you down. Taxes, mention it, right? So because the girl maybe thinks, oh, I'm not beautiful, the public is saying I'm not beautiful, so how am I going to deal with a beauty parlor like I'm selling products? Maybe the thing she should have done is to know that beauty products work on the skin. They will not change the size of your face or your nose. That will never change. She should have maybe thought of going further to make research. Why are people criticizing my business? And she should have come to shine, to show, okay, last time I had a skin rash, now my products have changed my rash, it's not there. You see? Find another approach of a business, but business has got to have ups and downs. Did she think about looking for a beautiful girl like you? And then you can be the face of her business. And then she can just supply and pay you and do marketing.
Okay.
So the stigma should not just be about, okay, I'm here, I'm not being empowered, because when I started a business, there was so a lot of critics, and then something happened, and then let me stop it and then go to venture in something else. She'll find the same thing.
Oh my god. Okay, you're done? Thank you. To my own point of view, I still feel like this woman is still judged. She's still judged. She's being judged right here. And I don't see that's not empowering an African woman. So just because she's not a good looking, so she's supposed to cheap the idea she has for something else because she doesn't fit in. So who does fit in?
Okay.
What if, no, I'm not yet done. What if you're so beautiful? But sometimes they say beauty with brain, yeah? But maybe you're beautiful, but you don't have anything positive going on in your mind. Maybe you're beautiful, you just want to go to a runway model and walk. But then she has it. She just doesn't have the face or maybe the physical appearance, but she has the idea. She has the contact.
I think she has brought the beauty itself comes from having an idea of starting a business when no one is doing so, right? So it's not a problem. It's not about being, what is beautiful
a problem.
Anyway?
Is it a problem?
What is beautiful?
Guys, is it a problem? Because she brought this idea into life that nobody else did. It was an hanging thing, not till she brought it into reality. Why is she supposed to be neglected from the society we're in? She's a human and she deserves it. Just because she's not nice looking doesn't mean whatever she's doing is not nice looking, or maybe it's not providing, or maybe it's not giving the quality they want. So why is the society criticizing her? Why is the media judging her for basically just because of how she looks? Is it then bias?
I would love to give you my opinion on your question. So I think for her or any other woman out there who is starting a business or intending to, or maybe aspiring to start a business, I think it's important to recognize, why are you starting this business? Are you starting it because people are telling you? Or are you starting it because you're trying to validate yourself? Or is it a trauma that you're trying to validate? Sometimes people tend to say like, this guy is my type, or this woman is my type. And what I can say, according from psychology, is that sometimes your type can be your trauma. Maybe you grew up in a household where you experience domestic abuse. You saw your dad beating your mom. So you grew up saying, I like to date an alpha man, not because you want, but because your dad was doing something that was in contrary to what you wanted. So you grew up with that kind of trauma. So the woman in question, maybe she started the business out of trauma. Maybe she grew up in household or the environment maybe in school or wherever she grew up in, maybe she wasn't validated for her beauty. So her starting the business is not because she wanted it, but maybe because she's trying to validate herself that she's beautiful. And I think also, to the society, most times we tend to focus so much on the negative stuff that is happening in our environments. They're the ones that get the hits and many views, but then the good stuff that are really important, like education, empowerment for women, they tend to get little to no views. So that reflects back the kind of society that we're living in, that we are really not ready for empowerment, for knowledge. We are ready for negative stuff. This is not judgmental, it's just an opinion that I think we can work on as a society.
For me, I don't understand why we always, we empower women, but I don't understand why you always expect everyone to love what you're doing. That is the part of the progress. Just because a person is criticizing what you're doing does not mean that is inevitable or that is not supposed to happen. Because trust me, if it was like a man's brand that is facing backlash, they can be like, he can handle it, it comes with business. But why is it that when it's a woman, there's always this thing of, if you even want to become a president, okay, go be a president. But you always have to see people who don't love what you're doing, who don't want what you're doing, who don't love your views. That's the whole part of growth and growing. And I don't think there's any other business that was out there where they just came, everyone knew them, everyone loved what they do. You can ask your friend, okay, do you do this, and do you go to this business farm to buy their products? You're like, no. She's like, but they have the best product, and they're like, no, me, I don't want them. Just because. And I think maybe, okay, they are criticizing of how they look, of how she looks, because now the products, maybe they are good, that there's nothing that they can criticize about. So they criticize the owner just to get you down. So that is just part of what the business world looks like. Everything is about competition. If there comes another woman who is conventionally attractive according to the societal standards of what is attractive or not, they are going to align themselves with their brand, because they will say the product is nice, she even looks like the product, she's beautiful. So if she does the beautiful product, then the unconventionally unattractive one is not going to have that same credit. But it's just a part of the progress. And I hate, okay, I can't say I hate, but I dislike the way as women we think that just because you want to do something, everyone is going to agree with you. I feel like that's the scenario that is going on with the question you had, because not everyone will want to buy your product, and that's okay. That is okay. That is the part of the process. They are going to criticize you, but that is why they say that consistency is key. Because if they criticize you and you say, okay, I'm not attractive according to their eyes, I will stop. Stop, then what? They've
All
won.
right.
You see?
Can I ask you a question before you go there? So you stated something, and I want to ask you a question. Assuming maybe you're a lady with a good shape, and then you decide to sell maybe body enlargement products. So you find like people will see you, and you're the one advertising that, be like, oh, I want to have her shape. You get, it becomes a propaganda. Why? It's not because those products you're selling really helped you. Maybe you're naturally like that, but because it's the ideology people have that whatever you sell made you like that. You get. So when I talk about this woman, is that public's opinion matters so much. And yes, most of the times women wants to be encouraged. Everyone wants to be encouraged. Be it in every business, yeah, everyone wants to. But when I came up with this thing, it's that we are limited. We are limited. It's not everyone is beautiful, yes. But what happens to those that are not good looking? What happens to women out there? What happens to African women while out there that are not good looking? The only businesses that earn these days are maybe makeup artists. You don't even, sometimes you don't want a very ugly person to make your face maybe be your makeup artist. They are rare. Why? Because you don't see like what's the, like, she doesn't figure out what beauty is she going to bring in your face. People are criticized. This is real life. They are criticized. You find like someone can be a good makeup artist, but you leave her for someone you feel like, yeah, she has the face and she can do it. Like, It's just the mindset.
You know, it all starts from within. If I wake up in the morning and say I'm confident, that is how the world has to perceive me. If I wake up in the morning, I say I'm gonna do it, that is how the world has to perceive me. So I think it is also important for her to actually recognize her belief. And what is her belief? What is her self perception? How does she think about herself? Because most of the time the mind tries to reinforce what we believe in ourselves. You know, if you believe you are not worthy, that is what it will be. And that is how the environment and the events and the people around you will constantly bring to you. So, and another thing about the criticization in public, I think it doesn't matter. You know, everybody will criticize. Whether you're good, they will criticize. Whether you're bad or whether you're calm, everything they will criticize. But one thing that I know is that you are the final say in your life. So even if they criticize, it has to pass a due diligence. First, do I know you as a person? So why should I take your critics personal? Another thing, are you criticizing me from a point of helping me, or you're criticizing me from a point of putting me down? I have to do a due diligence about that. And then, why are you criticizing me?
You're talking of waking up with the confidence. Like in the morning, you have to have the confidence. We think all the businesses have losses and profit. You'll keep on having the confidence every day, and your business is not moving on. And tomorrow, the products are increasing, the sales of products are increasing in the market. Assume that the sales are increasing and there's nobody buying your products, and you're gaining losses at that particular moment. How do you encourage yourself to continue with that business?
Thank you so much for that question. So not only in business, but life in general, we all have highs and lows, and that is something that you have to understand. When you're experiencing a high, you be prepared for a low. When you're at your lowest, be prepared for a high. It's not only in business. That is a mindset that you have to instill in yourself as a human being and a virtue of being in the human race.
But the content is about the woman's business.
Do you know why? I come up with a question. Do you know why girls, before they left home, they must put on makeups, they must look for themselves? All boys, they must have see if they are clean, everything. People's ideology matters, and social media's words, people, it matters.
Thank you.
So
Okay. I
You
want
see,
to. I
Chris,
really,
she just said that.
I was still
Why
saying
is it always that when women,
yeah.
you know, you said it yourself, like, why is it that when
Why are you
women,
particularly interested in that?
because she said it, she said that, why is it that, why is it that when women do a business, say that the public have their eyes on them, right? You see, that thing alone tells you, like, okay, it's on record. Coca-Cola sold how many bottles of soda in a whole year? Is it one? Who knows the history? You know, so you're saying, like, if it was a woman, oh, nobody's buying my drinks, oh my god, you know, there's a problem. But because it was a man, you're saying maybe they persisted. But this is part of every business's journey. So the only thing this woman should do is to look out, is not to give up.
Like,
maybe it's even her first business, you know, it's her first business venture, right? So she should just press on. Those things will be there.
Let me
There are people who buy the products.
Something here.
You know?
Can I add something before you clarify? We are still talking about how we can empower African women, right? So we are empowering them. Yeah, it's more of being it this woman's case, but at some point it's not. It's not about her. It's about us. It's about another African lady out there. It's about another African woman out there that is desperate, looking for a solution, but at least she has something going on. And not only that, like I said earlier, you find, like, even in movie film industries, maybe modeling careers, people are limited. They are women also. We're talking about women, right? So they are women. You find, like, you want to act a movie. There's this woman, I forgot. She actually acted this movie of How to Get Away with Murder. Very, very many.
Annalise.
Annalise, very good. She's a lawyer, something like that. This woman was rejected in very many movie industries. Why? Because she was an African woman and she's believed not to be beautiful. So people didn't see what she will give, right? People see how maybe she was going to bring down the movie. So it's not basically about this woman. It's basically about African women being empowered.
So, Beatrice, as you are saying about that woman, now you see, if we base the whole thing about people not empowering you, that just loses the whole argument, loses the sense of being empowered. Empowerment means no one is going to see your value. Not everyone is going to see, oh, she can do it. And that is why you have to instill yourself that empowerment. Keep on going. And the reason as to why, to the other question you asked, the reason as to why that woman feels as if, not feels actually, it's because now the society is actually criticizing her. It's because as women, we always sometimes, not not entirely, but sometimes we base our whole value to according to the way we look, the physical attractions that we have. So you feel like if a person is not validating the way you look, you feel like you are less of a human being, just because we value, that's where we put our value. I've never seen a woman, okay, I can't say I've never seen, but like, if you compliment a lady's brain, they always take it, okay, thank you. But if you say, wow, you look beautiful, there's always a way she feels as if, you're lifting her off her shoes, or something like that. It's because we always base our value on the attractiveness. And that attractiveness is based on the societal standards that they've put us from. So when you start beating those societal expectations and standards of attractiveness, that's where you can even get the true empowerment, because not everyone is going to find you attractive. And that does not mean anything, regardless of what you're doing or what you want to do. And the reason as to why it affects us is because we put our value on how we look. So if a person is saying, oh, she looks ugly, then you start saying, oh, then my beauty brand means they don't like it. No, not everyone is going to find you attractive. And that's where patriarchy wins, because if I can attach your real value as a human being to a certain way of how you should look like, then I'm limiting the person who does not look like that. And that's where lack of empowerment starts from. So you must tap out of that societal standards as a woman of use of them saying, oh, if you're even colorism, they say if you're light skinned, then you can be a secretary, you can be a face of a social media brand. Start your own. You see, not everyone is going to validate your dream. And the reason as to why it becomes like that is because we base our whole value as human beings, especially the female gender, to attractiveness. If you feel like that person is not finding you attractive, you feel as if now you're unintelligent, you feel as if now you feel less of a human. So tap out of that expectation of you trying to feel as if everyone must find you attractive. It's actually comes also rooted from the attention seeking, something like that. Because now you see, the society build up that standard because they know if they build up that standard for us, it's going to defeat us and we're gonna lack empowerment. So that's where we stay low. So that woman should just stay consistent, because now they are criticizing her and not the brand. And that shows you how we value the way people see us and the way people feel as if she's attractive, I can pull you down just by telling you you're ugly. You see, that should not have any effect on you.
One thing I've seen there from the story or from the analysis of that, first of all, women need to stop being desperate. What do I mean by that? When you are desperate for something, you're not prepared, you're not competent, you're not committed. For the case of this woman, she was desperate for her brand to explode. But for her, she was not ready to face the hardship, and she was not competent to compete with the other outside brand with hers. So basically, like when you are desperate, you lack that preparedness in you. And when you are lacking preparedness and when you are lacking all those qualities, empowering you will be so hard. And also there now you will come with excuses of blaming the foreign elements, the other factors. Let's say I'm not beautiful, men are not viewing me as beautiful person. First of all, why do you need to be beautiful when you know that you've been created like that? Why do you need to put on makeup and you need empowerment? That means that you have not authenticated yourself. You're not proud of yourself. You see, the common thing with people who are desperate for something and people who are insane, they don't see the reality. Like you're just in that shallow. You're in that darkness. You're not seeing the real life situation. So why do you see? Like right now we have surgery we have plastic surgery.
Yeah.
You see these women who are doing plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Like critically think about it. They need the out world to view them to be beautiful. If the face was like for that of an alien, right? You want it to look you want it to look modernized, like for us to see it. So that's not empowerment. Like when you empower yourself in that way, you've come with so many things.
And you look them. When they do them, you look them.
Okay, the thing is, do you know why we look them?
Problem.
Do you know why we look them?
You don't judge those who do that, but you instead criticize who doesn't have it.
Do you know why we look
wow.
at them when they have modernized themselves in that manner? I'll tell you why.
Why?
When you go back to biblical context, right? We as men, we don't have that perception of saying, this woman is beautiful, this one is ugly.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, we don't, because I'll tell you why.
You totally do.
I'll tell you why.
Can I add something, Chris?
Yes.
Do you know you people are basically so creative because you find like when girls go for sciences, they believe those ones are ugly. Those who do sciences are ugly. Those who do arts are maybe those ones are okay. So you guys have the whole concept of beauty in women. It comes from the men. It comes from you.
Okay. Now I like the point, the fact that you brought this up. For me to view you as a beautiful woman because you modernize yourself. Do you know what you're seeking from me there? You're seeking for my attention, my validation. There, are you going to say that I'm empowering myself? You're empowering yourself for me as Chris to see you as a beautiful woman.
No,
but you actually not
society not to criticize you.
This
for you
is
to fit
in general.
I'm a member of society, so when you do something that
but
society wants,
I want to fit in. I want to feel comfortable, not judged.
okay, you want not to be judged, right? And first of all, why do you want not to be judged?
First of all, when we do makeup, we don't do it.
Because my
we
mental
don't do it
health
for, We don't do
matters.
it for you guys.
Oh, hell. Oh, okay. You don't do it. Sorry. You don't do it for?
We do it for you guys. We do
You
it
don't do it
ourselves
for us.
because
Okay.
I want to be like, I want it.
It's
Whom do you do makeup for?
myself. I want to do it in the
Self-confidence.
morning. I wake up. I want to do.
Yeah,
I want to
How many times do you make up to go to bed?
No, we don't
exactly. Thank you.
So
We
why
don't
don't
do
you
that.
do it?
Why will we do it? They will not feel comfortable while they're sleeping with it.
So you feel comfortable?
Why do you feel comfortable and do it outside?
When you're outside, I want to look good for
For
myself.
who?
It's not a must for someone else. No,
Who
I'm
sees
not doing
us
it
in
for
the
someone
dark?
else.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're going to bed, then it's
you
okay.
want somebody to see you there and maybe think
It's
good
the
things
whole-
of you.
the whole
look
id-
good,
I
I
It
want
may
to
be
look
a girl
comfortable.
like you. We are not talking about the boys only.
The whole
They may
idea,
be a girl.
You know why women are running out of public shame, and that's why people hide over makeup. Even there are some people that definitely
Atom,
do
let
sleep
me
with
tell you
makeup.
If you
this.
talk about empowerment, you talked about social media. So the public, the people, where the critics are coming from, is because social media people even think it's like scam because someone who paints a picture that they even exists it, right? Because they want to do the good things. They will never show you who they are.
Do you know what
inside.
Do you know what comes with that
Right.
ideal? I'll tell you what. When it's a man who is ugly, right? Who cares? No one
I do.
cares.
Some
But a
women
woman
do.
who
As
wants
long as he's-
a woman.
I do.
No, you don't. You don't. Women. You see, I like the fact that
What do you mean by we don't?
When we were in primary, in high school,
Women do. Let me tell
Listen.
you. Take for instance, South Sudan, where we come from. Some of our ladies are leaving you people just to go and marry the whites.
Foreigners.
Simply
Wow.
because they're not seeing the looks
Shushu,
in
I'm,
you.
I'm, I'm coming. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
Johnny, no, don't
I'm
say
coming
that.
to that.
Don't say that.
Hold on, ladies. Like I was saying, what come with that ideal as a man being ugly? For us women, we're proud. Do I need makeup to look good? Do I need to go for surgery to look
They are
good?
makeup for boys.
First, wait. They're
Yes,
makeup for
nowadays.
boys because do you know why they need makeup for? Why they're makeup for boys? That was the ideal of a woman. And do you know why? Do you know why a woman invented the makeup for a man?
Tell us.
It's the same thing a woman is fighting for, and that's the conception. I mean, that's the perception of the society.
Okay, Chris, I have a question for you. The whole thing, don't you really agree that physical appearance contributes so much in self-confidence?
Physical appearance doesn't.
It does. It's
Even
everything.
if it
It
does,
doesn't. It's not
does.
everything.
It
It's just
doesn't. Let me tell you, there are
It
people,
does.
the
It
most
does.
successful people out there. Are you living in life to improve your life and change your life and be rich? Wait a minute. Are you working for that? Tell me anyone in life who is living, who is studying, who is pursuing, mention it. Not to be rich, not to change their situation. That person is not there.
Yeah, definitely.
If you went on a scale, the great writers, the great people who are speaking out there, doesn't have all arms, doesn't have all this, but they are happy. They are there because
Exactly.
they believe in themselves. They have empowered themselves. It starts with them. They believe and they have made a difference. So if we are here to look for public validation to get empowerment, that is very wrong.
Okay, it's wrong in your own ways, but I still argue because I don't feel it's wrong. I argue. I argue so much. Because tell me, I want a scenario like this. Tell me, I wake up in the morning and then I go to the mirror and then like I doubt, like, oh, let me not go out. Maybe having acnes on my face. Maybe like I fear, right? So I want to break free from myself. First, wait, I want to break free from myself because individually I'm not free.
Okay.
I'm fighting things that like I want to get free. So empowerment from yourself comes first, right? So the whole idea of you being self-confident matters so much. If you're not confident, if you look in the mirror and you don't love what you see, trust me, you cannot do anything.
You cannot do
Even
anything.
if someone empower you, tell you like, oh, you can build a machine. You don't
I need you to
live.
tell me a situation. Get up in the morning. Go there. Let's leave the woman in the concept. Tell me how many women, list them, who have come up to start a business, but because they weren't looking beautiful and they failed because
Zero.
of what factors? Tell me.
Well, they were not doing
was
beauty
not
product.
about-
They were
it
not
was
doing
not about
beauty
how they
product.
look.
Most of them have restaurant and they succeeded because their cooking skills were good.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
in this context, the woman is not the product.
No,
The
because she's
woman is
eliminated from
the
her
owner
dream.
of the
She
business.
is eliminated from her dream. Her being the
how is she eliminated?
She
She's
misinterpreted, like she
No.
Because
misinterpreted
no one is
the
going to
public.
love what you do every time.
People
Not
will
one.
never love what you do. People
They don't
care in
love the
first
owner,
place.
but they love the
You know?
product. And
But
that's the
God
whole
is still
concept.
creating. God is still creating. It's not even that he's good looking.
Okay,
So
then-
what happens to another one that's out there who wants to do business?
Then
who
what
wants
is the
to be a-
solution that you're trying to give to the ladies who think they're not attractive?
Okay, I do literally have a solution, but I'll never tell somebody like you because you're not
No,
beautiful.
you-
Because I won't tell her to leave the beauty product. I won't, right? I won't because I'll let her die doing that. Right? Because someone out there who literally have the same looks with her may be having the same dream. It's not a coincidence. So, but then when she backs out, that story dies with her. And I don't want that story to die with her. Right?
That is the same thing I was saying. It's because we
regardless,
base our value on the attractiveness.
But most of you were telling her to walk away from that just because she's not beautiful.
No,
she
I
doesn't
did not
have
say
to leave
walk
that.
away
Or
from
maybe
that.
you people are opening up for her. It's like an excuse. Okay, she has to be maybe criticized, but no, she doesn't have to be.
No,
She
because
doesn't.
why does she feel as if she's failing? Because they are
She
criticizing
feels
her,
because
not the products.
It's not
And
even
that's
what
the-
she
And the
feels.
products are the ones making the revenue and the sales.
It's not what she feels. It's not. It's what you, the society,
Then
says.
it
you, the
it,
media,
it
says.
all starts
Yes.
rooting down to the way we value how people perceive us.
She felt comfortable. That's when she created a dream.
Mhm.
But because you felt like it's not for her, you criticize it.
The dream is for the beauty brand, not her attractiveness.
I want to ask you. I want to
that's
ask
her
you.
dream. I want to ask you.
That's empowerment starts with you. Answer yes or no.
Yes.
How
definitely.
does it? So if it does start with you, why don't you accept yourself to be you?
And then if I accept myself, I am. That's why I have the beauty brand. Why are you not buying it?
No.
Why
Let
are
me
you not
ask you.
buying it?
Let me give you
Why
an
are you
idea.
Everyone has to
criticizing
buy
me?
it.
And then why would
Assume
you,
this
even
girl was
mental
beautiful.
health
Listen,
matters. Mental
assume
health.
what beautiful means to her.
Yeah.
Assume this girl was beautiful. She gets up in the morning, nature dictates, she loses her leg. She loses her arm. Was she going to close the
Unfortunately,
business?
And then it's so unfortunate that nobody judged the disability.
Tell me, was she
Disability
going-
is not inability. So
No,
that
they-
is different.
She
Physical
can
appearance.
be in a
people-
fire accident. Her face gets demolished. When her business is hit, it's been 2 years, she's operating. She gets in a car
Okay,
accident. God forbid,
I want you to
her
look in a
face gets
scenario.
demolished.
No,
So are you saying she'll cross the business?
Beatrice,
I want
it's
you to
for
look at a
example. No, let me
scenario.
Because
give
the
you
I want
an
you
business
to look at
because
scenario.
she's not
I'm
looking
giving an
beautiful
example.
anymore.
I'm giving an example. You treat this singer like Rihanna, she owns a makeup brand. It's a beauty brand. People like
Selena
Selena
Gomez?
Gomez.
Yeah,
And you know
Rihanna.
how people hype Selena Gomez? Because yes, she has the looks, right? Nobody even cares about maybe her beauty products don't help. But if everyone wants to have a smooth face
No,
like
no,
for
no, no,
Selena.
no,
Selena
I do want to
Gomez-
have a face
Selena
like
Gomez
Selena.
is not attractive.
That is
Selena-
colorism.
Selena
That is
Gomez-
To me, she's not beautiful.
Listen. Do you know?
How about
Because
Rihanna? How about Rihanna?
she's not beautiful.
Listen.
No, these are women who
To
made
me,
it out, and then
right?
their face, they're
Yeah.
not judging
Okay,
it.
To me,
The
she's
thing
not.
is,
I want to ask
You
you.
trust
understand?
me. Let me
So-
tell
Why
you
do
for an
you
example.
put those things on your nails, and why do you put makeup? How do you feel when you put them on?
Because this is how I express myself.
Okay, I want to add on that. If I own a beauty product, I personally, and then Selena has, you're buying for Selena, or you're coming to buy for mine.
I would buy for Serena.
This
Listen,
is it.
because
This
she's
is
an
it.
artist. She has created good music. I may not support
is it.
Serena
So
because
this
of
is it.
beauty.
Physical
For Selena,
feelings
you
matter.
understand?
do you
She
know why?
has ventured
All
in
this
different
contributes
things.
to beauty.
You
All
understand?
this contributes to
No,
beauty. It's just a
no.
propaganda. You see,
She has
everything
a
she
talent.
gives is good.
A talent is nothing to do with anything.
But I have a talent in
she
producing
has got
something.
up in the morning
Then
and
that is the
thought she can
product.
do music.
Yeah, my product is supposed to
You
judge who
understand?
I
She has
am.
ventured in
Beatrice,
different
Beatrice,
businesses.
It's okay. You wake up in the morning, you
Right?
look on the mirror and you don't like what you see. You say, okay, I'm ugly. It's fine, you're ugly. Then what options do you have? You have either you sit there, you wallow in self-pity, or you choose yourself, you empower yourself, regardless of whether you're beautiful or not. You follow your purpose and what actually brought you into this world, and not
Exactly.
attach
you.
your attractiveness to your
Thank you.
purpose.
Thank
Do you
you.
have an option?
Don't
Because sometimes
attach.
it's so hard to
Thank you.
tell someone you're beautiful, you can do it. Just tell them, do you have an option? You like what you see or you don't like? Fine. What are you gonna do? Do you have an option?
And like she said, don't attach your attractiveness to what you want to do, because that will limit you. I can tell you for a fact.
Okay.
And let me finish. And adding to the motion of today, how can African women achieve true empowerment? I believe we can also bridge the gap about true masculinity when it comes to men, because there's a way when you say empowerment, there's a way men feel attacked. I don't know why they feel attacked, and
They're always attacked.
We are
you
coming
know,
there.
I can say they always feel attacked because masculinity back in the days was always expressed in oppression of a woman. If a woman is oppressed by a man, then he's masculine enough, you see, because it's always about dominance. So I believe we can also try to not advocate, but have sessions, talk to our brothers, our fathers, our uncles, and tell them that if I am empowered, it does not mean that you're not masculine enough. It does not mean I'm disrespecting you. It does not mean that we are competing. The sky is bigger for everyone to go higher. So we need to also have that discussion with our male friends, our brothers, our uncles, our fathers, our lecturers, everyone, name them, because they always believe that when you say empowerment, like for example, we said empowerment, and Chris was already talking about preserving the future, because there's this certain urge that you feel as if a woman is going to get empowered, then the boy child is going to get oppressed. But we can all correlate and complete each other, because if I'm empowered, I can empower you. You support me, I support you. So we also need to bridge that gap between fake masculinity and true masculinity, which is stemmed from love, support, and seeing women as equal human beings and autonomous human beings who also have dreams, and validate them. I think we should also try to bridge that gap.
Okay, thank you all. I think we're coming to our conclusion. So we will be basically listening to your closing remarks. So I think you can start.
Okay. For me, I would say, okay, I was a bit stuck before about what they said before. She mentioned something about education. You said that education is not enough, but that was a little bit true. But I think maybe we should reconstruct how education is done and include women empowerment in what we study. Make sure that it is included there. And also another thing that I also wanted to say is what he said before. He said something about keeping in mind the future. He said something about women in Europe not giving birth, and I think that problem is deeper than what we see or think. I think we should go back to the family and know why that problem is there. Women are empowered and are given opportunities, but we don't consider the double burden that is put on them. The woman is expected to work, but again, come back at home and do the responsibilities such as, cleaning the house, taking care of the kids. And that for a woman is actually a burden. So we should also consider men helping women in chores and at home responsibilities. That would be a good thing for, and it can, maybe decrease the rate. Increase the rate of, giving childbirth, because women don't really want to get burdened that much. We are humans too. Thank you. So I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much.
Oh well, it has been a good dialogue, and well, we're talking about empowerment, and I would love to conclude by saying, as a woman out there, don't think empowering you is going to be easy. It's not. It's not going to be easy. First of all, the men outside there, the men you perceive to be more superior than you, they need you to first be authentic of yourself, accept who you are. And if you're good at something, make sure you do it. If you don't know anything, make sure you educate yourself about it. That's the way to go. And you have to be talented in any field that you feel yourself comfortable with. If you're good at modeling, go for it. If you're good at public speaking, go for it. And there you will make it. But if you're going to sit down there and think everything is going to be easy for you, it's not going to be easy. As you're also requiring for empowerment, as a woman there, you also need to be aware that you have to make a family. Not only, you don't have to be, I don't want to make family because I'm powerful as men. No, be empowered, and also you have to preserve for the future. Thank you.
We'll come to conclusion of this. Like, I've learned a lot. Like me, I learned a lot from our conversations. I don't know, like we started with education. We have to educate women, girls. They have to be educated. And we know when you're educated, like you will know your right, you will know your responsibilities. You know what you want, and you'll be confident of yourself. So education is very important.
All right, that was nice. As we conclude, this discussion is actually so touching. At some point, it makes us emotion because we're out of the world and we're seeing so much happening. So, to my conclusion on how an African woman can achieve true empowerment, here's the thing, dear women out there, be it a young girl or a mother, I want you to know that empowering a woman doesn't come in a silver plate, most especially when it's in an African country, is the hardest thing one can get. But I feel like it's a high time that our voices can be heard, our faces can be seen, regardless to what opinion people may have against it. So for today, as a woman out there, if maybe you're completing, or maybe you're a student completing, I want us women to, or maybe I'm urging, like, women, let's start focusing on issues as women. If you're doing research, do a topic maybe basically that has something to do with women. Let's base our research works on women. Let's find the basic issues about women, so that if we can solve them, let us know like where our problems coming from. I mean, you cannot eliminate what you don't know. So as women, as African women, let's try to make it about us, because it's not coming on a silver plate. We have to get it, and we have to put in work. So as women, we start doing research about women, find the issues that are affecting us, issues that are letting us down, and then we sort them out one by one. So another thing that I'll add on is that it's not easy out there. The social media has something to say about us. Men has their criticism against us as well, but it doesn't eliminate us, or maybe it doesn't stop us. So the dreams keep going, and we just keep working and going on and on and on regardless. So if you fail when trying, the next person that comes after you, you have empowered that person illegally. Like it's something that you've done. So keep going, because you're someone down there is looking on you. Thank you.
Thank you. As we are coming up to the conclusion, this theme was really amazing. For my opinion, I believe a woman to be empowered is being self-confident and being independent. So if a woman is aware to do anything she wants, so this may lead to the empowerment and yeah, good thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dear women of great nations, I tell you that instead of addressing very simple and small issues, women should focus on starting something or feeling the empowerment is already there. Get up to make a challenge. Have a dream, limitless. Go out there. What you feel you can do, no one is stopping you. If an African woman came and they wanted to do enterprises, they want to do great things, and they were stopped from having a license because they were women, let us address to the ministry concerned, why are women not being given permits to operate, to have businesses like this, to drive expensive cars, to own big businesses, to have self-esteem, right? So I feel like women have to get up and do something, and then let us address the issues that will come along, rather than thinking we are not being empowered enough, because this is a free world. A woman is capable of doing anything, and let us get up and do it out there. The sensitization can be passed on to one woman after another, to generations, with this adaptability and changes in technology and other circumstances around. But where does it leave a man? Dear men out there, please take heart, be strong, support the women, empower them when you can. But it's not that men are very talented, they are born lucky, they can take care of situations. Men are suffering there. Women beat them up. Women oppress men. It's on record. So, but to a smaller extent, maybe. So this goes to the women. Self-esteem is there. Self-respect, which builds up good characters of an African woman. But empowerment, I feel like, is there. The only way is to get up and do something, and then we address the bigger problems and then find better solutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So my last remark about how an African woman can achieve true empowerment, I think it's by recognizing that every woman has a responsibility for the future generation. The women who came before us, they did their part and they passed the baton, and we are thankful for that. So what is your contribution going to be? It can be simple as being a leader, being an advocate, using social media. It can be simple as being a mother and nurturing girls and boys with the right mindset and building a future generation that is empowered and powerful, and that anything that you do, any impact that you do, will decide nothing less than the future of this country and the society at large. So what is your contribution going to be? And always be optimistic for the future, because great things are happening daily. It's just that they don't want to show it. So always be optimistic for the future, because everything can be achieved by willpower. Thank you.
Also, what I can love to leave behind in alignment with the motion that we had today of how African women achieve true empowerment. All I can say is that be aware that in society you're going to face a lot of challenges as a woman if you want to empower yourself. And I think as a collaborative, as a collective, we had agreed that it all starts with self-awareness. And another thing that I would love to emphasize on is to never base your value in the attractiveness you have as a woman, because you are limiting yourself when you do that. Don't base your value on how you look. Don't base your value on how men validate you. Always validate yourself, because in the society we live in, the goalpost keeps on shifting. One day they want petite women, the other day they want thick women, the other day they want dimples, the other day they want light skin, the other day they want chocolate skin. The goalpost keeps on shifting. And how many times are you going to shift yourself for you to actually feel as if you are empowered enough? Always, and the solution to that is to always be authentic. Don't feed yourself on the societal standards that are there. Don't believe that just because you are attractive is already enough for you to feel empowered. We need your brains. We need what you can do for the future generations. How can you empower yourself? Empower the people from your family, empower your friends, empower the society, empower the country, empower the regional countries you have, a continent, global. We are talking even about global. So if you start basing your value or what you can do based on how attractive you are, how beautiful, how pretty, how cute you are going to only limit yourself as a woman. Empowerment is very much outside from how you look like. And always be ready to face criticism. And it does not mean it has to be there, but unfortunately, we are in a society that has people who have different views. So just always stay authentic, stay consistent, and to the families and guardians out there, empower your daughters. They are very much capable, they are smart, they are intelligent, they are clever, and always listen to them. And to also our brothers, our uncles, our fathers, please support us. We are not inferior to you. And just because we want to do something for ourselves does not mean that we are disrespecting the path that you have set or what you also do. We can always get empowered and support each other as gender, because we complete each other and it's not a competition. Thank you.
Well, in my conclusion, actually, you guys went well. We all went well, I can say that. But in my conclusion, I would like to say that empowerment starts from within. It has to be in you first. You don't need others to tell you that you as a woman, you have to do this to be, a powerful woman. So I'm telling all the women's outside there, it has to start from within. And you have to be ignorant in life. There are people you will find outside there discouraging you, but you don't need to take everything in. You have to ignore some for you to progress. So, and to the women that are taking empowerment as a tool of, letting their men down, it shouldn't be like that. You all have to stand with your men side, that they, continue motivating you to be the woman that they want, the society wants. So you have to stand together with the men's, and then that's how the future lead us to tomorrow.
All right. So this has been AMG. And remember, it was Youth Unmoderated Dialogues. It has been a privilege to hear your opinions, ladies and gentlemen. That was nice. So stay tuned to the next topic. Yes. Thank you.